Good morning, and welcome to our election town hall. Our government for the people, by the people, and in order to function properly, we need to be willing to work with one another. Over the last 20 years, we have seen the left and the right drift further apart. Our country was established on the grounds of compromise, something our nation has since forgotten. Our students have handled a divisive political environment with the utmost respect and have continuously kept an open mind. Together, they worked collaboratively to build campaigns despite working on opposing sides. From creating and running political ads, debating issues, setting up voter registration, and distributing absentee ballots, these students have brought the election process to their peers in the most authentic way possible.
We urge you now and in the future, in your personal and political life, to do your research and understand what is important to you. But also know that someone else out there has a different point of view than you. And that's okay. Whether you agree or disagree with the direction of the country, your involvement and understanding of the political process now can help shape our future. So get involved, know the process, register to vote, and most importantly, let your voice be heard. Vote. For today's town hall event, we would like to introduce our moderator, Mr. Jerry Wilbert. He will present the questions for the candidates, and each side will have 2 minutes to respond. Please join us in welcoming our campaign managers to the stage.
Good morning, Sanborn. I welcome you to the Elections Class Town Hall. My name is Emma Deputat, and I run the Biden campaign as its manager. We worked really hard over the past few weeks to make our voices heard and our platform known. We hope we have made our stances on equality, climate change, fixing the economy, and combating the COVID-19 pandemic clear. Former Vice President Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris are here today to answer any questions you may have for them and to take the support and criticism of our voters. I believe we have before us two brilliant minds that want to help you, that want to lead you, and most importantly, that want to fight for you and your rights. Help us save the soul of America and vote blue. I now introduce to you Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Sanborn High School, and welcome to this town hall. President Trump and Vice President Pence would like to thank you all for your attendance. Before we meet the candidates, I would like to talk to you about the past 4 years and what is still to come when President Trump wins re-election. During the Trump administration, we have seen America enter a new era of economic growth. Prior to the coronavirus pandemic, we were experiencing the strongest economy in this nation's history. We have seen President Trump lower taxes for our citizens and our businesses, because when American businesses thrive, the American people thrive with them. Over the past 4 years, America has achieved many milestones under Trump's leadership, especially for people who have been historically marginalized. We have seen the lowest African American unemployment rate and the lowest overall poverty rate for Black and Hispanic Americans during Trump's administration. President Trump has also made America a safer place as well by increasing border security. As of now, over 300 miles of new border wall has been constructed, with plans for 450 miles by the end of the year. The wall has replaced much of the existing barriers, and it was built bigger and better in order to further reduce illegal border crossings. The Trump administration has reduced the amount of undocumented people entering the country to a record low, with only 40,000 illegal crossings last month. When President Trump wins re-election, his administration will continue to curb unauthorized entry into this country, while also making it easier for people who want to come here legally. We are very proud of what we have accomplished so far and are optimistic about the future. Donald Trump believes in the spirit of this great country and in all of you, the American people. We hope for your support so we can keep America great. So without any further ado, it is my honor to welcome to the stage President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence.
Good morning, candidates. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to this debate. Candidates will have 2 minutes to respond to each question. I'll be addressing who the question will be going to, and they will respond. The first two questions are for the presidential candidates, Trump and Biden. The same question for both candidates. President Trump will respond first, with the second question that I asked. Vice President Biden will respond first. President Trump, what is your plan to combat the COVID-19 crisis?
Well, we are telling people to wear their masks and social distance. The vaccine will be announced within weeks. When the vaccine is ready, we will have the military distribute the vaccine. As I see it, we are rounding the curve. The virus will go away. The Trump administration extended the summer free meal program through the end of December, ensuring that all children have access to nutritious foods as the U.S. recovers from the pandemic, as many return to school.
Vice President Trump, what is your plan to combat the COVID-19 crisis?
My plan is to make sure that the American people are with us, because without the support of the American people in our plan, it will never work. We need their help and we need to work together. My plan lays out specific things that can help us recover economically and combat the virus. First of all, we need to make sure that masks are able to be bought by anyone that needs them, because that is the number one thing that will be able to help us fight this virus. Number two, we need to make sure that preventative care and treatment for the virus is available to anyone that needs it, because that is important. People getting better is important, because then and only then are we able to start fighting it and do research into a vaccine. And my candidate claims, or my opponent claims, that it will be ready in weeks, but we have no clue. The scientists need to do studies, and we do not know when that's going to be done. And so that is nothing but just hyping it up. We don't know what's going to happen. And that's the number one thing, making sure that we can figure out what's going on first, because we don't know.
Thank you, sir. The second question, Vice President Biden will respond first. What is your healthcare plan?
My healthcare plan is, so first of all, we need to make sure that everyone has access to affordable healthcare. That is important. And so my plan to do that is to make sure that there's a public option, which is just like an insurance plan. You can buy into it, and it's just like another insurance plan. Everyone is going to pay for it. People that get the plan are going to pay for it. Taxes will not pay for this alone. That's not how it works. It needs to compete with private insurance. This is not eliminating private insurance like my opponent claims it will. This is not a communist scheme. This is simple economics that will help Americans thrive.
President Trump, what is your healthcare plan?
Well, I'm trying to fully get rid of Obamacare, but my healthcare vision is putting America first by providing higher quality healthcare at a lower cost. Since taking office, I have worked to put good healthcare back in America's hands. The Trump administration has taken historic actions to lower prescription drug prices, expand access to affordable coverage, deliver hospital price transparency, and allow the American people with access to trusted doctors. I'll always protect the American people with pre-existing conditions.
The next two questions will be for the same question for both vice presidential candidates. Senator Harris, you'll go first. Your question is, what is the ethical solution to climate control?
So the Biden-Harris plan to confront climate change, we will trust the scientists and the facts presented to us. We will rejoin the Paris Climate Accord, first of all, and work with the rest of the world to combat climate change. We plan to have net zero emissions by 2050. We also have a plan that will create jobs. We will put $2 trillion into clean energy and infrastructure that will create millions of high-paying jobs.
Vice President Pence, what is the ethical solution to climate control?
America shouldn't be tied to agreements with other countries that leave American workers in the dust. This is why we pulled out of the Paris Agreement to put Americans first. Other countries like China and India would be allowed to increase their emissions while the US industry would have to make drastic changes. I do love the environment though. I've worked to modernize our water infrastructure and signed executive order to conserve and regenerate our country's forests. Fracking oil with fracking, we've saved our oil industry and now it's very vibrant again and everybody has very inexpensive gasoline, plus wind turbines kill birds.
Thank you. Next question also for both Vice President candidates, starting with Vice President Pence. What is your stance on women's reproductive rights and how will you act upon this position?
All right. We are putting healthcare back in the hands of people and small businesses. Federal money no longer goes to organizations that support abortions. Plus, Obamacare individual mandate penalty is gone, which disproportionately hurt those making less than $50,000 a year.
Senator Harris, what is your stance on women's reproductive rights and how will you act upon this position?
Joe Biden and I support a woman's right to choose. We support the funding of Planned Parenthood, which not only gives women access to abortions, but gives people access to cancer screenings. We will repeal Trump's law that restricts access to birth control and make it more accessible for everyone who needs it. We will also nominate judges for federal courts that respect a woman's right to choose and will never stop fighting for it.
Thank you. The remaining questions will be individual questions. I'll call the candidate up to respond. The next question is for President Trump. Sir, will you work with presidents around the world in the future to sort out worldwide problems such as NATO, Paris Accord, and other organizations?
I'll do whatever it takes to keep America strong and competitive. Take the United States-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. I open new markets for U.S. farmers and manufacturers that will encourage increased manufacturing in the U.S. and allow workers and small businesses to flourish. We've also been strong on China to protect American jobs. The promise of a better future will come in part of American independence and the right of all nations to determine their own futures.
Thank you. Next question is for Vice President Pence. Where do you stand in terms of LGBTQ rights?
I've done a lot of great things for the LGBTQ community. I've made sure the nationwide legally of same-sex marriage is settled issue. We have added members of LGBTQ community to our administration as ambassadors and judges. Under my presidency, the Department of Health and Human Services has focused its attention on those most in need of HIV treatment.
Thank you. The next question is for President Trump. What is the benefit of lowering taxes for big companies?
While reducing the corporate income tax will benefit workers as new investments boost productivity and lead the wage growth. If lawmakers raise the corporate income tax from 21% to 25%, we estimate the tax increase will shrink the long-run size of the economy by 0.87% or 228 billion.
Thank you. The next question is for Vice President Biden. Will you raise taxes?
Anyone making under $400,000 under my plan will not have their taxes raised. Period. End of story. Anyone making over that may, but the large majority of people, which is anyone making under $400,000, will not have their taxes raised. I will raise the corporate income tax at the highest level, at the highest tax bracket, the people making the most, from 21% to 28%, because 21% is too low. Under the Reagan administration, which was a Republican presidency, it was over 40%. I'm not raising it to that level. That is not what I stand for. I stand for a reasonable tax so that Amazon and other giant corporations do not pay nothing in federal income tax, because that is unacceptable and our government should not be run that way.
Thank you, sir. The next question is for President Trump. What do you actually believe your slogan, "Make America Great Again," means? Where does that slogan stem from?
Slogan "Make America Great Again" mean what it says. It means to have people proud to be in America. It means to have lower taxes. The great President Ronald Reagan used the slogan "Make America Great Again." Reagan had an amazing economy, and when he was president, and I want to do it again. Have America great.
Thank you, sir. The next question is for Senator Harris. Senator, what is your stance on defunding the police?
Well, first of all, Joe Biden and I believe that Black Lives Matter. And we plan to reform the police department to hold them accountable for any of their actions. We will end racial health disparities, but we believe that police do not deserve federal funding if they don't meet the standard of decency.
Thank you, ma'am. The next question is for Vice President Pence. Sir, how will you collaborate with government scientists, public health experts, and researchers in the ongoing efforts to address the COVID-19 pandemic?
We are telling people to wear their masks and social distance. The vaccine will be announced within weeks. When the vaccine is ready, we will have the military distribute the vaccine as I see it. We are rounding the curve. The virus will go away. The Trump administration extended the summer free meal program through the end of December, ensuring that all children have access to nutrition foods as the U.S. recovers from the pandemic and many places return to school.
Thank you, sir. The next question is for Senator Harris. What plan does your administration have to reopen, maintain the economy with a resurgence in the pandemic?
We want to slowly open places based off the numbers presented to us by scientists, and we want to cooperate with governors to open the safest way possible.
Thank you, okay. You have more time if you need it. The next question is for Vice President Biden. Vice President, this will be your last question. What is the most important reason someone should vote for you?
The most important reason, in my opinion, is probably healthcare. Because if you get hurt, if you get injured, if you get sick, and you can't get care, you could get seriously injured or die. And I think that that's something especially true now that we're in a pandemic and that we've been shown the strict inequalities in healthcare and how we need to fight back and get better healthcare to more people, because there are people that are getting denied treatment for COVID. There are people that are getting denied treatment for other more serious diseases like cancer because their healthcare doesn't cover it. That is unacceptable in America. In America, we should help people. We should give them treatment if they need it. We should be able to promise people that when they go to the doctor, they can get the treatment that they need. That is something that is a core value to me. My son, Bo, died of cancer, and we were able to get treatment for him, and he lived much longer than the doctors predicted because we had good health care. And I want every American to have access to good quality but affordable health care.
Thank you, sir. This is our last question of the evening. It's for President Trump. Sir, how do you feel about people that don't like or support you? Why do you think that is? And if you could change it, would you?
Yeah, I would change it, but I think people should vote for me, but I don't know why people wouldn't vote for me. Raising taxes, especially during a pandemic, will not help the economy. It'll only hurt the economy. It'll hurt people's lives.
Thank you, sir. That concludes our questions. Thanks to all the candidates. Well done. At this time, I'm getting relieved by the teachers that have organized this. So 1 second, please. Thanks again.
Thank you for watching our town hall. Thank you to our candidates for performing. And also thank you for all the great questions sent in by the students. These questions were all student generated.
And a very special thank you to Mr. Brian Gray and Jillian Evans for putting together those beautiful speeches that we watched yesterday. And another special thanks to Gordon Parks and Dan McClellan for putting together this live stream. And of course, thank you to our staff and our administration for supporting us and our students here on stage. Have a great rest of your day.